Well, hello and welcome back to week 2 of what I'm sowing. This week we have mostly peppers. So we'll be sowing jalapeno early hot peppers. Lots of these. My good lady really enjoys pickled peppers, pickled jalapenos to be precise. And we're completely out. I didn't do any jalapenos last year, which was my own fault. I mixed them up and got some bleatingly hot ones, which she didn't like. So yeah, I'm in the doghouse. I'll just get you some of those. These fantastically hot dried peppers. 50,000 Scoville or something like that. So pretty high on the heat scale. Snack peppers, so lunchbox mix. These are, and again, usual freebies on the front of a magazine, but the kids love those. Eat like sweets, so that's brilliant. I've still got some yellow monster bell peppers. These did really well. Grew fantastically strong plants. Did very well. Unfortunately, really late because it got hit by they got knocked back by the frosts and nipped badly by the time they were of a size. It was right towards the end of the season, so we didn't really get any till really quite late in the season. But excellent peppers nonetheless. The other thing we're going to be sowing today is some sweet peas, just a little bit of colour, and some normal peas, Alderman in this case, a climbing one. Do not mix them up. Not poisonous, highly poisonous. Okay, we'll start with the peppers. Appreciate that this is very early in the year, but it's quite important to get peppers in early. They need a long hot period in order to fruit well and successfully. Which means that realistically you need, as soon as the weather is warm enough and the frosts have passed, you need to get your plants out and into, well, in my case, a polytunnel. Greenhouse would be even better. But the stronger and more well grown your plants are, the better. Because the sooner you'll have your harvests and you're not going to be left until October before you get the bulk of your harvest. However, it's quite a delicate balancing act because you have to manage light levels and legginess against growth of plant. Now, I know some people start their hot peppers in like December, and that's fine if you have additional lighting. So if you've got grow lights or something of that ilk, absolutely fine. You know, you'll do no problem with that because you'll be able to keep them warm, you'll be able to give them adequate light. If, like me, you're growing them on a windowsill, I've ditched my grow lights for the season because frankly the shed I've used them in I've turned into my pantry. You're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is a bad balancing act, which is why I'm using these multi-cell trays. They're quite small and they're really quite shallow. The intent is basically to almost stunt their growth. So you'll plant them up, you'll get them on a sunny windowsill, not too much additional heat. So I'll heat them until they've come through and then they'll go onto a cool windowsill that will keep their growth slow and steady. But it should mean that by sort of end of May, they're ready to go out as good, sturdy, stocky, bushy plants because the enclosed root ball will prevent them from growing above a certain size, and then as soon as you put it in the ground, boom, in my experience they just explode and they'll double in size once they've got free run for their roots. So this almost acts as a constraining function. It allows them to develop good thick stems, good root functions without getting too leggy. Now, because my good lady loves pickled peppers, I am going to plant an awful lot. So this is 3, 6, it's 24 cell, and I'll plant 2 seeds into each cell so that hopefully we should have very few, if not no gaps. And if we do have a gap here and there, I can always pinch one from one where you've had 2 fires. Again, these are, I believe these are Premier Seeds Direct ones. I've had quite good success with peppers from Premier Seeds Direct, so no concerns over that. Excuse me. Apologies, had to sneeze. So just filling it up, tamping it down, making a shallow depression. You don't want them too deep down. Doing this out. This technique is basically identical for all peppers and tomatoes for that matter as well. Although tomatoes don't have anything like as long a season, so I actually I'm going to be leaving mine very late this year. I got mine killed by frost. What was it? Right towards the end of May. The whole lot killed overnight by that late frost, and I reset seed, grew seed on windowsills and planted it out, and still got a substantial harvest of good fruits. They were late, and they were hit by blight. I was growing a blight resistant variety, so I still got a significant quantity. I mean, if you look back through some of my last videos, I think in total I had almost 50 kilos of tomatoes from plants planted that late. So I will probably not even start planting my tomatoes until the very end of April. That way they'll be going out as good stocky plants, but they won't be leggy. Okay, so that's my jalapenos. These will go. I'll need to relabel that. I'll put that on top so I remember. Yeah, these will go to propagator until they've poked their heads up. I mean, I've got some sage under there. Until they've poked their heads up. Normally I would like to leave them in until they get their first true leaves, but as I have one propagator and a lot of plants to grow, that might not be possible. I'm not using a grow table this year like I have done previously. I might see if I can get another propagator. That might be the solution. But we'll have to wait and see on that. So okay, so we will do. Actually, we'll do the sweet peppers because I'm going to plant all of these. But I don't know how many you get in a pack because they're freebies. Well, I've got one at the very least. Shall we open that up? Well, this seems exceedingly generous. That entire pack yielded 3. No joke. Okay. I get that they're freebies, but that's just stupid. I will probably have to purchase some more snack peppers. I hadn't realised there was only going to be 3 in there. So yeah, I'll have to buy some more snack peppers, pepper seed, and top up my planting. Okay, for the yellow monsters, I'm going to treat it like the jalapenos, 2 in each cell. These are last year's seed, so they won't be quite as viable, but generally that's not really an issue for peppers. They're pretty hardy. I'm expecting at least 1 out of every 2 to come through. They're not known for problems like you get with, say, parsnips. Okay, so in that spindly little container we've got a couple of snack peppers and a couple of yellow monsters. Move that over here for a moment. I'm very disappointed with that, you know. Normally the giveaway ones aren't too bad. Okay. Peas. Next, peas are slightly different. Peas will go until they literally just start seeing at least 50% poking their heads up, then they will come straight out of there. They'll go onto a cold windowsill until they are yay high, and then they will go straight out in the ground. If you baby peas too much, they go leggy at the drop of a hat. So yeah, they'll go straight out as soon as it's reasonable. Slightly different approach to these. I want multiples in each cell. It says throwing peas all over the floor. Give peas a chance. So I'm going to plant 3 in each cell. Gives a good dense clump to go as each station. This should do a 6-foot row quite comfortably, maybe even a bit more. Peas are, provided they've started and fired, they're tough, they are hardy. Some of the shorter version varieties are a bit more hardy than the taller growing varieties. So this is Alderman. This will climb. So this is a climbing pea. And I would hope to be cropping this at the point where I am starting to put in beans on my bean frame. Brothers and Borottis and the like. Last year I soaked them. The year before that I didn't. I noticed absolutely no difference in germination or growth. So rather than muck about and faff around, just getting chucked in a tray. I am by nature a lazy gardener, I'm afraid. If I don't have to do something, I won't, because it seems a bit pointless otherwise. Then we have sweet peas. Sweet peas I plant in a pot. In this case it will probably be 2 pots. This is a mix from Seed Swap, Bristol Seed Swap last year. It's always nice to have some sweet peas knocking around. They brighten the place up. A lot of people will have started their sweet peas already because they can take a while to grow, to produce flowers anyway. I, however, the flowers come when the flowers come. My experience with early sown ones is that they have a tendency to get leggy. This is one of those again where you have to be a little bit careful. So only enough heat until they put their heads up, because they can grow that much in a day. Literally, as soon as they start to see the tips pointing through, they'll go onto a cold windowsill, and I do mean cold windowsill. So rather than a traditional one. This will actually go probably on the kitchen windowsill because the kitchen isn't heated. There's no radiators in there, just the heat from the fire things, and there's a window reasonably far away from any heat source. Probably that will be 5 or 6 degrees overnight, maybe 10 degrees in the day, until they are about that height, and then they'll go straight outside. And again, like I said, peas are tough, so they'll survive quite nicely. Yeah, and that's it for this week. I will see you next week. Next week we will probably be doing celeriac, one of my favourite vegetables. Has a long growing season, but so worthwhile. And I'll see you then.